These 7 player props are likely to keep your pockets full in these NFL Week 13 matchups. Now, before we get into it, make sure y'all are giving us a follow on Twitter or X, where we will be posting these picks daily, as well as other prop bets and everything else. Our handles are here below in the bottom right of each one of our pages, and also we have a Discord going there as well. Make sure you're joining that while the bets are still free. Let's go ahead and jump into these props.
So guys, yes, the first prop bet that I currently have is going to take place in the Detroit Lions versus the New Orleans Saints. So the player prop that I have is Jahmyr Gibbs. And what I have him going over 3.5 receptions. Guys, this to me is a given bet. He has easily been averaging 7 to 8 targets per game. And if you're telling me as long as he gets half of those, that's going to be the bet. So I love that bet. Regardless of the negative or positive game script, Jared Goff loves to hit Jahmyr Gibbs. They also love to funnel everything through their running backs. So obviously, as you've seen, David Montgomery, Jahmyr Gibbs, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Sam Laporta, it just seems like that's their 4 playmakers, and whoever's on the field, whoever's in the backfield, you can guarantee they're probably going to make a play 50% of the time if it's not to one of those receiving threats. So I'm loving this player prop here for Jahmyr Gibbs, 3.5. I can see him easily getting 4. He's actually hit that bet 4 times in the last 5 weeks. So to me, I feel like this is just a given. And playing the New Orleans Saints, I feel like this could be a close matchup. New Orleans not bad of a squad on the defense side of the ball, and I think if it is close, they're likely going to be throwing the ball more often than not, and especially out of the backfield with some screens with Jahmyr Gibbs. So that's who I've got for this week. So over 3.5 receptions for Jahmyr Gibbs.
And piggybacking off of you in this game, I actually like his counterpart in David Montgomery going over 63.5 rush yards, which is currently at minus 113. And I feel like that's a fairly good line for him, considering that he's hit over 63.5 rush yards in every single game except one this season, in which it was the game that we saw him go down with that injury. So against the Saints defense has struggled against the rush. Currently, they are 23rd in rush defense. And really, looking at how much usage that he gets in these games this season, he averages 81 yards per carry on 17 averaged attempts throughout the year. So absolutely love his usage here. So I think him going over 63.5 does seem very well in this game as well. And I think that it's, like you're saying, Dalton, that positive game script for him here. And I think that they're going to find a way to get back on track after losing to Green Bay. And I think that this game versus the Saints are going to find a way to get back on track, have an early lead, and probably rely a little bit on him.
Yeah, moving on, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to look at the Miami-Washington game here. And what I'm going to go with Sam Howell for over 264.5 passing yards. And I'm going to do this because of several reasons. One, he's averaging throwing the ball 40.5 times per game. He's slinging the rock, baby. And we all know that he is a leading passer in the NFL. And he's actually hit it 7 out of the 12 weeks, and he's hit it 4 out of his last 5 weeks. So with him playing Miami, I feel like this is going to be a good bet here. I believe that if this game goes the way I think it's going to go, I believe that Sam Howell is going to average another 40 dropbacks and throwing the ball this week, because they're going to have to sling the rock to keep up with the high-powered Miami Dolphins defense. So I really like this bet because of potential high-scoring game. And I think that both of these quarterbacks are going to be throwing the rock. And that's all I have for this matchup.
Okay, so for our next player prop bet, I actually have a wide receiver here, and I'm actually going to go off what you said. So this kind of goes hand in hand with Sam Howell. I'm actually going with his receiving threat there and Scary Terry McLaurin. Guys, this guy, I'm taking over 4.5 receptions on him. He's been averaging anywhere north of 8 to 10 targets per game with Sam Howell. He's obviously his most trusted target. It just seems like it's his safety blanket. And especially playing an elite offense like Miami, who's going to score a lot against this very poor, I think they ranked 32nd in just passing defense and total defense overall in the NFL. So in this Washington Commanders. So I can see them trying to keep up passing heavy. And I feel with Terry McLaurin, he's easily going to get this the targets that he's going to receive, and I think just 4.5 is just a small share of what the targets he's going to get and the opportunities he's going to get. So I like this at 4.5. He's actually met this 5 times out of the last 8 weeks. So I think this is going to be a pretty easy bet again this week for him, as he's going to go up a very tough Miami team here, and they're going to need to pass the ball quite often to stay with them. So this is going to be a negative game script, which is actually good for the passing attack here. So Terry McLaurin over 4.5.
I'm going with a similar line here, and it's a different matchup and one of the most exciting matchups that we see in these Week 13 games. It's two of the top seeds in the NFC, and it's the Philadelphia Eagles and San Francisco 49ers, but it's Brandon Ayuk going over 4.5 receptions. And he's coming in at plus 110 odds currently at what I'm taking this at. And I think that that's just crazy. I know that it's probably based off of his recent performance. We do see that he's only hit this three out of his last 5 games, which is probably why we're seeing these plus odds here. But I don't see a lot of rushing opportunities in this game. Philadelphia and San Francisco both rank top 3 in rush defenses, and I think that they're going to rely heavily on quarterback and wide receiver usage here. So I think that Brandon Ayuk is going to get back on track. I think Deebo Samuel this last week kind of had an outlier game. I don't expect that type of usage for him moving forward. And I think Brandon Ayuk is going to come as clear-cut number 1 wide receiver. And as we can see, he has a 25.7% target share, which is 17th in all of the NFL. So I think, again, we've had a couple struggle weeks, but now he's going to find his way to get back on track. But even if he doesn't and Deebo Samuel finds his way as wide receiver 1 again this week, looking at the last 5 games for Philadelphia, they've allowed the top 2 wide or receiver options, whether it be wide receiver and tight end. So no, really in that situation, it was like the Cowboys where it was CeeDee Lamb and Jake Ferguson. They've allowed both of those players to have 6+ receptions, which is really what we're looking for in 4 out of those 5 games. So really love him. Again, looking at 5 receptions at plus 110 odds. Love those odds here, so I will take that every single day of the week.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad you brought that up because I went kind of the similar route, but I went on the other side of the sideline there with AJ Brown. I'm with DJ though. Like DJ's mentioned, the Eagles and both the 49ers are top 3 in rush defense. So that's why I'm gonna stick with AJ Brown, and I'm gonna go over 73.5 receiving yards, and it's because of, like DJ had mentioned, the rush defense on both sides of the ball. I believe the winner of this game is going to come down to quarterback play and how they're going to be able to spread the ball out and get it to their targets and their playmakers. And that's AJ Brown for the Philadelphia Eagles. I believe that he's up for a very, very big week against the 49ers. I think the Eagles are going to come in and they're going to sling the rock, and Jalen Hurts is going to sling the rock. And I feel like it's a safe bet here. I feel like there's going to be a lot of passes in this game, and I don't know. I just feel like AJ Brown is going to get 73.5 receiving yards. So that's the bet I'm going to go with in this game. I'm glad DJ brought it up. But that's all I got for y'all.
Okay, guys. So the last prop bet that I have is actually between the Atlanta Falcons and the New York Jets. And in this one, guys, I'm taking Bijan Robinson. I just feel like this is a given every week for him. But guys, he's looked fantastic the last 2 weeks. He's averaging 5 yards per carry. And I just think it's hard not to go with what he's given right now. I'm actually going with over 58.5 rush yards for him. And I just think that the last 2 weeks, given he's had over 16 plus rushing attempts, he's averaging like 18, I think, the last 2 weeks. And he's rushed for 95 versus the Arizona Cardinals, and then he rushed for 91 versus New Orleans Saints. And now he's coming up against a New York Jets offense that has given up 134 rushing yards per game on average, which is the 7th most in the league. So Bijan, I think, obviously the Atlanta Falcons are one of the most run-heavy teams, and I feel like it is split. It has been split earlier in the season between him and Tyler Algier, but now it seems like this has become Bijan Robinson's starting job. He's easily become one of the bell cows for this team, and Tyler Algier is obviously taken a back seat and has become more of the change of pace running back. So Bijan, I'm seeing anything north of 15 plus carries and easily surpassing over 58.5 yards rushing. So guys, be looking for that one. This was probably my easiest one I've had this week.
Thank you so much for tuning into this episode. And as always, make sure you're joining that Discord as well. We have posted our Thursday night football bets coming up today. So make sure you're checking that out as soon as possible. You'll also find in there later on throughout the week, we will be posting a anytime touchdown parlay in that Discord chat as well. And again, we're on there daily posting NBA, NCAA football, and the college basketball. Anything and everything, all your favorite sports. Make sure you join that. We'll see y'all next time.
See y'all next time. Hook 'em.
Rod the pond, baby.